Alright, hey there Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here. We're back once again for another Let's Play of Echoes of Wisdom. And if you did miss out during the last one, well, we just want to continue onwards with the exploration out here in Lanayru Temple, and we also did come across for the said boss door. Now, for this said video, we are going to be taking on the boss in the Lanayru Temple, and that is going to be known as Skorchill. And for what you guys could go and look at for what was going on there for a little bit, a few seconds, was that I was showing you guys the favorable echoes that I do have for what we're going to be needing for this said battle. We do have a fire keys and an ice keys. Now, for what this said battle with Skorchill is going to be, well, the name already kind of justifies for itself, because he's going to be dealing with anything fire and or ice related that is going to be showing up. Now, he does have 3 phases. The first phase is that he is going to be setting up for his ice power attacks, and you want to be a little bit careful for this one here, because he will try to at least somewhat stomp on the ground and cause some icicles to fall down. Now, when those icicles do tend to fall down, that's where he's going to go and start trying to spin around. And now, mind you, it is all RNG for where he's going to be spinning around over here, because sometimes you'll just get yourself hit by it, and it does a little bit of some damage, but you should at least be somewhat okay. But yeah, so that is what our main goal is that we have to go and try to hit that part of his headgear there while using the said fire keys for this one. Now, the next one we will have to use is with our ice keys, and that should be able to hopefully help out with some things from there. Now, you can also go and use other said type of fire elementals as well, because you guys, if you have been throughout with some of the different said dungeons so far, you may have probably come across with some of the different, like, fire whiz robes or ice whiz robes. Those can also be somewhat of a beneficial for this said battle as well, too, because they do quite a bit of some damage compared to the said fire and or ice keys. But there we go. And I believe by now we should be heading off into the next phase. So yes, so now he's going to go and put on his fire headgear here, and now he's going to be boosted up with anything firepower related. So this is where he's going to be setting up for any of those type of fire burst attacks, and he will also have some sort of like a fire vortex type of move as well if he starts charging up. You don't really want to be around within that part when that does go on from there, but unfortunately our ice keys just got completely destroyed, but not to worry, we can go and cast out with some more. You know, unfortunately, we can't really go and pull off with the headgear yet, but there will be a time where we can be able to go and do that, and that should be happening right on the 3rd phase. Now, I think you could also go and probably do it with the other previous phases as well. Well, for what Skorchill's headgear will probably get turned off, you could probably just pull it all off there, but either way, we're now going to have to go and deal both with the fire and also ice power here. And unfortunately, the ice keys is not going to really help us out on this one. So we will have to go and change back into our fire keys one for that power attack. Hopefully, our friend out here can at least go and do a hit there. So there we go. And now finally, he's now back to his normal self. And this guy kind of looks almost vaguely in a way of like how Conde's brother is. Now, from what I have been gathered is that this is actually not going to be Conde's brother. I know that we may have probably seen him from before, but yeah, so it may probably look like it, but that's not really his brother here. I think it's like some sort of other creature instead. Or I should say some sort of other Yeti that's going to be showcasing up here. But either way, we just went and pulled off his headgear, so now he should just be in his normal type of state for right now, but he is still going to be setting up for more of those fire burst attacks. But if I am lucky enough, our little fire keys buddy should be able to get the last hit off, but there we go. And just like that, Skorchill is down and out, and he will now finally disappear and gone off into the thin air. And that also does give us another heart container. Now, I don't really know if there is going to be any other type of full heart containers throughout this said dungeon, because I'm pretty sure that by now we have all of the different special prime sanctions, or I should say prime energy, for what we do need for the end game for what's going to be showing up in here. So I know that we originally got ourselves with the Furor one, which I think that was back in the Fair and Wetlands. I'm pretty sure we also went and met up with the Gorons as well, so we were able to get the Din prime energy from that. And then, of course, now here we are in the Hebra Mountain, up in the coldest type of part of the area here in Hyrule. We are going to be getting with the prime energy for Lanayru's stuff that's going to be showing up. So it should be able for this place to now get back to normal out here. And let's go finally meet up with Nehru and finally get this area all situated with, and then we can finally get on out of here. Now, something interesting is going to be happening when we do start to go and head out from this said area, because what's going to be showcasing is that that said knoll creature, the same type of creature that we went and saw from before back in one of the still areas, probably back when we went and first arrived on into maybe one of the first of many of the prime energy type of dungeons that we went and head off into. That was where we got to see that knoll creature, and that was when Link went and showed up. Now, I don't really know if that was the clone said version of Link or whatnot, but we did see Link, and he did help out within that fight, and basically send us off back into the real world without having Knoll try to pick us up or anything. But we will be meeting up with that said Knoll creature again, and what's going to be transpiring is that said Knoll creature is going to be somewhat getting our power or something like that, and transforming his said original form into a clone version of Zelda, which that's going to be pretty crazy. And I don't know how we're going to be able to go and fight off with him if he has all of our said powers of Zelda, and may have potentially have all the said echoes that we have been normally going out of our way to find. So let's just make sure that we go and grab this heart container before we head out. But at least we get ourselves with another additional extra health bar. So it's always good there. So hooray, another health heart for us. And I think later throughout my time of this said battle, I did unfortunately lose out on some of my different smoothies. I did have like a golden smoothie and also one of the other type of purplish smoothies. So I had to go and use some of that for that battle. But I will definitely make sure within the next video to make a pit stop back over to the Deku Business Scrub and reclaiming some extra other set smoothies that I do want to make sure to pick up. So there's Code Day right there, and he seems pretty happy that we basically brought everything back to how it was originally at from before. So no more distortion areas, no more risk spots. Code Day can finally be happy and enjoy his time here in the Hebra Mountain a little bit more. But yeah, hopefully at some point we will ever get to see Code Day's actual brother, because I know that person that we went and just saw from before with Skorchill looked a little bit like what Code Day's brother could be. But maybe at some point, if we ever do decide to get into like the post credit of like the game or whatnot, maybe we will probably finally meet up with Code Day's brother there. Because I know that we've done it before. Because if you guys remember, we went about out with King Jabu Jabu, and when that clone version of him disappeared, we actually got to see the actual King Jabu Jabu after. So now it's time to do his Code Days dance. Man, just seeing this part here and seeing with Code Day just kind of makes me want to play a little bit more of some of the Toon Link games again, because like I'm pretty sure that he may possibly be somewhat of like some sort of a form of a Nuki or something, because like those are like always one of my favorite type of said tribes in any of the Zelda game. So maybe potentially with the way of how I'm going to be doing my videos and whatnot later on down the road, I'll probably just play Spirit Tracks on my own time and then give it a certain review for that later. But oh boy, that does not seem good. Yes, this big huge shadow ball that's over here has just went and swallowed us up and spit us out, and now got the soul of Zelda, I guess, and here we go. This weird power is now going to finally get the clone version of Zelda now. That does not seem good, because now what's going to probably showcase is that this type of clone version of Zelda may probably show up to the actual said castle place and do a whole bunch of manipulation or something, and that would not be good. But at least we would have disappeared beforehand, so that's all good. But it looks like we're already at the castle, so it seems like if we go and tell everything about to Zelda's dad here, he'll probably know that like we'll make sure that that type of other said clone version of Zelda should not, hopefully not be coming here to this said castle. And I don't really think there's any other type of echoes to go and find around over here in this said castle, because I think we already did our original exploration beforehand, right? So, like, I know that we already have Zelda's bed as an echo. That was one thing that was here within this part, but I don't think there's anything else. Too bad that we can't really go and use, like, Zelda's cat as, like, a echo or something. But I think with that being said in mind, I think this is going to be a proper good time for me to just go and end off with the video for today. So thank you guys so much for going and stopping by within our way out here for Echoes of Wisdom. And hopefully you guys can also go and check around within the Animal Crossing New Leaf as well. If you guys don't know, within the post-recording, I have actually got majority of almost all the said fish as I can go within our time for June. So I'm very much happy about that. But yeah, I'll end off here and I'll see you guys in the next one, and of course, peace.